What's up, guys? Kimberly Olson here, also known as the Gold Digger Girl. I just realized I think I'm not on Wi-Fi, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So I'm interviewing Sasha Sweder, and I'm so excited. We tried going live on Be Live, and it didn't work. We tried going live on Facebook, and it didn't work, or on our Zoom webinar, and it didn't work. But like all entrepreneurs who are resourceful, we make it happen. Oh, there she is. I see her. Okay, let me invite her on. We just make it happen, guys. I mean, that's just what's happening right now. Okay, so there you are. It's not letting me add you, Sasha. Okay, it says you can request to join, Sasha, so you have to request to join. It's not letting me add you. Just throwing it out there. Let's just pray that she's able to get on. If not, that's okay. Figure it out. But we were going to talk about Sasha is an amazing leader. She's an amazing recruiter. She's built an awesome team. So I wanted to be able to have the chance to interview her. So let's see if it lets her try to come on. Oh, yes. Okay. You can be in my video, girlfriend. Absolutely. I said, yes, I want you in my video. So let's see if you can get on. I feel like it's like an MTV video. Come get on my video. Okay. Approve. Oh my gosh. Okay. You might have to add. Okay. It's working, Sasha. Praise God. Yes. So excited. You know, just for A for effort, I think that, oh, I gotta do my thing backwards. Hi. What's up? Oh, yes. Please hold. Ooh, do we still have feedback, you guys? Hello? Uh-oh. Bluetooth. Uh-oh. She needs earphones that have been last week. Do you have earphones? Okay, let me turn this down. It's so loud. Sweating. Guys. Okay, be quiet for a second. I can't even talk. Earphones work. I have earphones on. Can you guys hear? Thank you for sharing, Elizabeth. I'm just going to show you some awesome books. Funny. Please God, let this work. Okay, how's that? Can you guys hear us? Alicia, can you hear us? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I feel like I just won the lotto. Okay, I told them I'm sweating. I'm like, oh. It's okay. Like we did it. We're awesome. Okay, yay. I'm so proud of us for persevering. Oh my gosh. See, that's what victory feels like. Okay, I want to welcome you on. Thank you so much for being on. So, thank you. I think you're like the first person I've interviewed more than once, which is really cool. Yeah, like we had such a good time last time. And what I'm so drawn, if you guys don't know Sasha, she is an amazing network marketer, entrepreneur. And you guys know, like every year in network marketing is like
7 years in real life, right? Because it's just so many people are not in it for the long haul. And
Right.
she's somebody I really respect and look up to. When I was first building my business, like what I loved about you right away, Sasha, is I was like, she's freaking real. Like there's no like facade. It's just like you're yourself. And I was like, that's the kind of leader I want to be. Like I want to be somebody who is just genuine, authentic, and like let's just support each other. And that's just I was just instantly drawn to you, like right away, the very first time we started messaging in Messenger. But why don't
Yes.
you welcome yourself, and thanks for being on. But tell everybody a little bit about you, your background, because a lot of the people watching didn't see our other interview. So I'd love for them to get to know a little bit more about you.
Sweet. So I am Sasha Sweder, as she said. I am Platinum Premier Leader of the Pink Pixie Company, a company that up until a brand new pay plan change was 2,000 strong. And now we are a new focus and all kinds of crazy new identities of influencers and such. So it's a completely different focus. I worked for many different companies outside of direct sales before I hopped into direct sales. And if anything, it was like a hop, trip, and fall. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was signing up for. And it just took off. It boomed in a way that I had seen, like, I had worked on kitchen lines. I had planned vacations for Delta. I had worked for Disney. The first year that I worked for Disney was like a year or two into my Posh career. But I had no idea I could even ask to do that until I had people standing around me going, no, like really, if you have a dream, you can go do it. And that much power around you causes you to do some crazy stuff in your company
Mm-hmm.
and outside of it. So in the last 6 years, I have gotten a passport, traveled the world, met a million people, crossed many stages, spoke in front of people. I am scared of talking to people, which is shocking because I just seem to keep doing it.
I
So,
love it.
so it works out. And I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing, especially for the ages that we're at. And it is the perfect way for us to be able to adapt and pay our bills.
Yes,
It's the best thing.
absolutely. And have that financial freedom. That's
Yeah.
so great. That's awesome. And I love how you said about being surrounding yourself around. I'm always saying, like, guys, like, be around people who lift you up and be around people who support your dreams. Not
Right.
everybody will get it, but they should at least be supportive. And I think it's so neat what you've built with your team. So
Oh, yeah.
tell us a little bit about how you've been able to build such a big team, because that's a lot of freaking people.
It's a lot of people, and you can't do it yourself, and you're not going to do it in a week. So, like, let's just get that right out of the like out of the goals. Build 2,000 people by tomorrow. Seems like a good
Not
one.
happening.
Hit that by end of month. Try that one. So it was something that I actually have started to develop. It has started to kind of come together, and it's called I Am Bubbles. And the big thing that I was doing when I first started was, and I didn't realize that I was doing it, was I was looking for influencers in the different bubbles of people I was hanging out with. And by being able to teach my team how to do that as well, they're starting to be able to build spheres of influence, the people that they are actually talking to, and how to figure out how to find the influencer in that group and that conversation that you're already having, and have that person show up on your front line, and that will cause that group to forever be connected with your business. And then you move on to the next hobby, and then you find an influencer in that group and you add that to your front line, and then you move on, and that's how you can continue to grow. The big thing, if you want to do the I am bubbles, is you take a
Hmm.
piece of paper and you put I am in the middle of the paper. And
Okay.
then you kind of make like a sphere, like a thing, like a
Yeah.
chart. And then you put bubbles all around it. And next, in the first bubble, you put myself. So either it's my own hobbies, and then the next one is my job is a bubble, my husband or my spouse is a third bubble, my kids. Like there are a million ways you're connecting with people in the world. And with each of these different bubbles, there's a reason you authentically can walk into that room. So for my husband's bubble, I can sit next to him and I can be like, okay, so I can walk into any room and talk authentically about being a military spouse. So that goes on his side of his bubble.
Ah.
And because of the fact that I'm able to start paying attention to all the things that mean so much to who I am as a person, outside of just being with Posh, outside of just being a mom, outside of just being the person that went through culinary school, like I've been through so much stuff. I could connect all of these dots by looking for influencers and hopping and skipping through each of these bubbles.
Oh my
It's
gosh, it's
so
brilliant.
big.
That's
It's
brilliant. You
so
guys
big.
don't understand. You people would have to pay for training like this. Like you just gave us like freaking okay. And one really cool thing that you just said is that you go with what you already know and you look at who you are as a person and you tap into that. Because so many people are like, I don't know anybody and I don't know how to find friends and I have
Right.
nothing to offer. And I'm like, yes, you do. Like everybody does. There you have
Oh
a
yeah.
story. There you have experience. You have past jobs, like you said, through your husband. Like what does that look like? Or your girlfriends or, friends from high school. Like, where are the bubbles? Like, I love
Right.
that. I've never heard that before. That's
It's
awesome.
so big. And it's caused people to remember that you don't want to just come in and start talking about your business. You want to talk
Mhm.
about why you were led to become part of that business in a
Ah,
way that connects all these people because you are like the hub center of all of these different types of people. So if I walk into the military spouse groups and I sit there and I say, oh my gosh, posh, 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 they're going to be like,
run, 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 run.
and then if you walk in and you're like, oh my gosh, I am so stressed and I've got this deployment and I've got these things going on and I've got going on and this is how I'm taking care of myself, that becomes a totally different conversation. And
Mhm.
then they want to learn how to take care of themselves as well. And you can authentically connect with that group. And then when you walk over and you go, okay, so that's great because that's maybe my spouse's career. I go over to my own career and I start talking to people that worked at Disney, or I start talking to people that have gone through culinary school and how I'm coping with all of those things also. You open those doors. Easy.
Yeah, so easy. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and also too, like being a mom, I feel like even like if you're even a pet mom of some sort or a mom or you care for elderly parents or you have nieces and nephews, like think about that. There's lots of people out there who can relate. And it's also coming from a place of why
Right.
this is fitting into my life. This is fitting into my life because I didn't want to go to a job anymore and miss my kids' stuff. Like
Right. And
that's my why.
I bet you don't want to do it too.
Right.
That's all you have to do to connect with people. And it's like, you know how like we get like, cause I'm a special needs mom or a mother of a special needs child.
Yeah.
We get phone calls all day long. If I had to be at a job and I was at a traditional job and I was having to just up and leave all the time, that wouldn't work out really well.
No.
But the other mothers that are in that same situation, I could connect with really quickly and be like,
Yeah.
look, I'm making money and I'm cleaning the house occasionally. And and I can still manage all of the doctor appointments and the medicine and I pay for the, the experimental things and all of the fun, but I can connect with that person quite easily because of
Mhm.
that. I understand what her needs are, his needs are, and I can bring them in a good way. And I can help them get
Yeah.
started, which is
Yeah,
pretty
like
cool.
look around you. Like, does your husband travel? There was a girl today we were talking, and she's like, oh, she's had a lot of food intolerances, and her kids have too. So she said she shows up to the party, and they're always like, "What'd you bring that's healthy and gluten free?" And I'm like, rock that. Like,
Yes.
that's like a whole thing. And she's like, "What do I talk about?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, jackpot!" Like, there's so
Right.
many moms that don't know what to make their kids, and then they go to a party. I mean, you could talk about that all day long. It's just look
There's your blog.
around. There's your blog. Right.
Like, you're
Yes.
done.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And again, it's stepping to who you are. It's being genuine, authentic, not trying to be Sasha, not trying to be Kimberly, trying to be
Right.
you, right? Like, who are
Right.
you? And being proud of that,
And then
Like,
when you build those circles and you build that chart, you start to see that there is no competition here. Like, there
mm,
can't be competition because my chart will be completely mine. Your chart will
awesome.
be completely yours. And every
Hmm.
person is going to be different. And if you're adding an influencer in each of those different sections onto your front line, you can move on to have other interests. So you don't need to be the person that you were 5 years ago every day for the next 5 years. And you can have new interests. Go hike. Go figure out where they're meeting up for yoga, for goat yoga, and it's exciting. Like, figure it out. Go do new things and meet new people, because the second that you added that influencer in that bubble onto your front line, you are actually still being able to sell to your friends.
Yes. So to step into it, so people watching, this is a new concept for a lot of people, and you probably knew
Yeah.
that. So what would be your first step would be to do your mind mapping. So do your
Yes.
IM and figure out your chart. And then what would be the first step? Maybe pick something that's easiest for you, meaning like you feel so excited about it, like that bubble.
I would actually start connecting with those people. If you have had a business, even if you are on your first, second, third direct sales business, there's a high potential that you've either saturated all of the mom groups, or there's a possibility that you were like, I'm just going to send messages to my family members, all of my family members, over and over again. And that's fine. We've all done that. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
been nice and awkward, and it's super fun. I would just show up to every one of these things. So if you have to start and you get that bubble chart and you're like, okay, I've got like 7 or 8 different things, I would start showing up to stuff for that first or second one. So if you're showing up to the PTA meeting and you're not immediately pushing Posh, I'd wait maybe a couple of weeks and then maybe show up with a coffee cup that has Posh on it, or bring them samples, and that's just the example of my company. But like,
Yeah.
show up with your logo on your stuff and your ability to share something with them without them expecting to have to buy something from you. Then go to a couple more of them and make sure you're showing up and you're talking to the friends that you went out for drinks with like a couple of years ago and you've totally forgotten about them, or like, that kind of thing, because you're reigniting those relationships. And the more that you're actually participating in a relationship authentically, you will actually be welcomed into that group, and then they'll be like, oh, okay. As opposed to, you disappeared for 5 years. Bye. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you have to remember, like, be a real person first and be yourself versus just trying to come in. Cause it happens, especially when you don't have that posture yet in your posh posture, but you don't have your posture yet and you're not confident with recruiting, and you start to kind of look at people, everybody as like a lead instead of thinking, I want to build that relationship or reignite the relationship first, and then I can bring it up when it makes sense. Like, if there's going to be a spot where you're going to have your cup and people are like, well, what's that? Or you're like, oh, here, I have some samples in my bag. Why don't you try it? I'd love to get your take on it.
Right.
That would be so normal if someone did that to me. I'd be like, cool, let me try your stuff.
But it turns it into being more of what we normally share, like, versus what, like, when you join a direct sales company, it seems like you forget, like, that you were sharing before then. You were already influencing the people around you, and you can test this by going to your coffee shop and picking out like some brand new trend of coffee and posting a picture on social media and seeing how many more of your friends suddenly get that coffee. Or maybe it's when you went to Sephora, you go to Ulta, or you go and share a link to baby diapers that were free, or like whatever it is for you. Put something out there and test your shareability for a little bit and see if people are starting to follow what you're actually buying outside of just your company, because it will remind you that you can share, and people don't get into like break out into hives when they like walk up to somebody else and share a gift from like Target.
Right.
But like something about whatever we sample out causes you to just like, you're gonna kill me.
Or like the awkward, they're just like start being really awkward. Like, don't make it weird. My upline used to always say, don't make it weird. Yeah.
Why are you weird?
No. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Gosh, this is amazing. Test your shareability. Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, before I started direct sales, I was like the one that people always wanted to know what I use for my kids, because I'm a nutritionist. They're like, what wipes do you use? What? And I had a list. I'm like, oh, this brand, go get this here. Here's your promo code. Like, I just did that. I didn't even think about that. Like, I forget those things. You get into it and you like forget what it was like before you were a network marketer. So you wrote a book, didn't you?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to get it. Where do I buy it? I'm going to buy it right now.
So it's on Amazon. I have 3 now on Amazon.
What?
I know.
You are so freaking cool.
Living my
Go
2019.
I love
So
it.
the idea is that I have to do scary things really quickly so that I can perfect it as we go. So like the first couple ones are not like, I'm not expecting you guys to think that they're perfect, but they're done, which is much more fun. Super exciting, right?
Yeah.
So this doesn't make me an expert is in Amazon Kindle Unlimited, and it is also an ebook and a print.
Okay.
And it's totally there. All you got to do is get on Amazon and search Sasha Sweder. You can find a coloring book and a cookbook, and soon there will be a cupcake book and a leadership book.
How fun. Okay.
I'm so excited.
You should be excited. Okay, so this doesn't make me an expert, and the other ones are done, or you're working on them?
Yeah, the other ones are, well, the coloring book is on there. This doesn't make me an artist. And the cookbook is This Doesn't Make Me a Chef.
Got it. Okay. How cute are you? And I like that you have a series too.
Oh, it's
exciting. It's memorable. Oh, girl, I'm so proud of you. Like, I get it. I know what it's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Bethany Frankel said, build a rocket ship while you're flying.
Yes, that's
Isn't
what
that
I feel
so
like
true?
I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you are. Just take action, jump in. And plus you impact one person. I mean, you just don't know where people are at. They needed to hear your message,
Oh, I took everything that I knew from business and I blended it with direct sales party like the calendar. And I can plan you out. Inside that book, there is a year-long planner for everything you need for a vendor event, from a major party to a Facebook party to it's all consolidated, and it goes from a year out all the way up to the day of and 6 weeks after.
And This Doesn't Make You an Expert, that one?
Yep.
Okay.
It's right in the
Okay,
middle.
cool. Okay.
There's also a major crash course in branding with colors and logo tips and everything on how to set yourself up. Yeah.
You guys, Merry Christmas. That's your homework is to go get her freaking book. I want everybody to get it. I already wrote it down, so I'm ordering it. Oh my gosh, you're awesome. Seriously. Thank you so much. So guys, just let me know, since we have to be careful with the algorithm. All my videos have been trending really high, and I think it's because people aren't following the algorithm rules. So if you put this down, we are not on my business page, so ManyChat is not going to come along and message you. We will tag you on a ManyChat link, and you will get information on my Audible is coming out. So I'm putting a wait list together for that, and then I know I'll tell you about that. I was in the closet for 3 hours on Friday. It was not my best work. I was so ADD. And then my Rock Your Business on Social Media boot camp is coming out. So if you just let me know this, you will get information on the boot camp. Woo! And it is an 8-week crash course on how to, I went from 250 followers to over 100,000 on social media. Everything is like what her and I have been talking about, like genuine, authentic, building real relationships, getting systems in place, processes, all the goods. It's the last live one I'm teaching, and there'll be $300 in digital swag for those that register. So I just want to tell you guys, because that's coming up next week. But girl, you are so awesome. I feel like we need to co-create something together. So we'll talk about that in the back end. I mean, we totally have to do something. I can feel it. It's going to happen.
So I keep messing with the idea of having a class. Will you teach me how to do that?
Yes. Oh my gosh, totally. Yes, we're going to do it. Good. It's going to be great. Yeah, everybody's going to eat it up. You guys, thank you so much for viewing in tonight to hear this rock star, and she will be back because there's always magic when we get together. Thanks for bearing with us at the beginning too. So thank you, Sasha. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, have a good night. Bye.
Night.